honorable jurists, respected leaders of government team and opposition team. Today, in this heated moment, I, member of opposition team, on behalf of my team, stood here to put forward our arguments opposing the motion of this house that this house believes that the mother tongue should be the medium of instruction in English. So before I put my arguments, I want to take heed to the arguments put by our members of government. I humbly respect your arguments that you have put here, but I cannot agree with the arguments you have put here. Because in a free world and a free nation you are living, so you can express your arguments, but that should be logical and reasonable. So as your member of government had decided that, had put that, and citing from Constitution of India, he had said that the mother tongue should be implemented because the national education policy, please be seated, because national education policy is also a controversial and it is only recommended by the government team and no opposition party accepting it. So how you can cite from national education policy? And also you have cited that Constitution of India recommends for a mother tongue. But also the Constitution of India, I will cite that 8th schedule of Indian Constitution says that there are 22 official languages that have Indian acknowledgement. So which language you will choose as the mother tongue? And finally, please be seated. And finally again, leave the Constitution aside. Only in India more than 700 languages are spoken in different parts of different India. Which language will be your mother tongue, yeah? And now let me come to my points. Here the second speaker of the government team, he was actually engaged in primary school. The motion of house, I make you remember again that the motion of house is that this house believes that mother tongue should be the medium of instruction in schools, not only in primary schools, where are universities, colleges, higher schools. And as you are saying, as in the third argument, the second speaker of government house, the deputy government said that if mother tongue is not implemented, then there will be lack of understanding. I may give you an instance from Uttar Pradesh. Please be seated. Let me give you an instance from Uttar Pradesh. In this year, Times of India report says 28.75 lakh students applied for plus 10 examinations.
Point of information.
Plus 10 examination. Among
point of
18,
information.
Please be seated. Let me complete my points. Among them, 18.3% students were failed in their mother tongue, that is Hindi. What's the problem? If mother tongue is most comfortable way to get understanding, then why 18.3% students are getting failed? And also in that report, the Times of India says that, and the most of the students have included English in Hindi scripts. So English is more comfortable than Hindi. I am not talking about the English should be implemented. We are coming to my points. And after now I will proceed with my arguments. So to consolidate our argument that this house should not implement a mother tongue as a medium of instruction in schools. Our first argument is that today we are in an evolving world and the world is a globalized, so a language should not be barrier. If you implement mother tongue in any school, it is actually a boundary based barrier. So we should cross the barrier and come to a global step, and there should be a global language. And also by implementing mother tongue, we are restricting and we are making barriers among students, because by implementing a global language, there is many socio-economical advancement and opportunities. And if you implement only mother tongue language, you cannot draw international students in your schools. You cannot draw other students of other language in your schools. So you are restricting the barriers between schools and our
point of information.
You may proceed.
You said that we are creating a barrier, an obstacle for the students if we are teaching in mother language. So are you ready to teach your child in America just to teach him in English?
Because in America, English is not a barrier. And in India,
Are you
in India,
are you
in
going
India,
to are
as
you
a
going to send
multicultural-
him just for school education, not the university education?
Okay, in India, as a multicultural language, as I have stated earlier, more than 700 languages are there. So it's not possible actually to implement in this. And not take the example of America, where only Latin English is the predominant language of that country. And by implementing a global language and not restricting in mother language, there is also we can cross and we can get away from the problems that many students are facing because of economic and intellectual problems. Because by implementing a mother language, we are losing many things. For meager gains and little benefits, we cannot implement mother language, because it is not, because in mother language there is a scarcity of resources and lack of resources. As a St. Paul University of Philippines states that by implementing a mother language, there is the different issues, and most important issue is the lack of resources. By implementing mother language, there will be lack of resources, because and this lack will be not only in resource but in speaking, writing, reading, and expressing. For example, I want to say you that in a Bengali, students learn about French Revolution, he says Renaissance, but when he hear the French Revolution, he cannot understand, because Renaissance is different and revolution is different in hearing and spelling, writing, everything, but in meanings they are same. So they cannot understand because of the different pronunciations. And so with these arguments, we firmly and sternly believes that this house should not implement mother tongue as a medium of instruction in school, focusing on these points, because by implementing, I will repeat again, by implementing mother tongues, there will be a big losses for a little gains. And for a global language, there are different benefits. Like in this globalized world, there will be global attention, and students can enter into global points. And secondly, it is not possible in India, like a multicultural society, to implement one single language. And by implementing mother tongue, there will be lack of resources that should not be, students should not be haunted by this negative effect. And to get global reach, we need global attention. And by this, I conclude and again urge the jurist and the member of governments to heed our arguments. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.